face. What is happening, people? Welcome back to a royal mess on the Sean Atwood channel. We have got an interesting one today. Obviously, if you've been living under a rock, fair enough. But there's been some unexpected news coverage of our compadre Tom Markle Jr., which we're going to dive into. And I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. I need to apologize to the Royal Newsflash viewers that there was no show today. Sean had a guest over. I can't remember who he was from. I think he's over from the States. And it kind of overlapped with what we usually do. And I'm just fixing my mic, so just bear with me. There we are. So yeah, it's my apologies for that, but we'll be back to normal this week. And we might have a new surprise guest panel member for next week too. So, but before we dive in to the traumatizing week that I'm sure you've had, Tom, we're just gonna see how everyone's doing, and we're going to start with Victoria because she got here first. She was the number one pupil.
I'm always first, aren't I?
Yeah, you are. How was your week?
It was really good, actually. Really busy, working really hard, and I just want to thank everyone who subscribed because I'm getting a lot of subscribers, and I'm really pleased about that. So thank you. I'm very happy. Made me a very happy lady.
Awesome.
And other than that, all good this week. Yeah.
And
how have you been, Ron?
We'll get to Ron. Don't worry. Yeah. We'll get to Ron. Okay, Paula, you look fabulous this evening. How are you?
Well, I'm doing well. Thank you. You know, because I'm getting so used to doing the Royal News Flash or whatever that we do in the morning. I was up by 4, you know, and then I realized that we're not having one. So another wrinkle. Everything's fine. Everything's great. I did an interview with George the Giant Slayer yesterday.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. I didn't know he'd gone through. I didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah, he's got
it was terrible.
Yeah, he's got a pretty intense story, if we could put that lightly.
Yeah. And I almost sold the entire thing. There's only like 50 tickets left. Yay.
Oh, come on. I think
well done, Paula.
I think we can push to get those. I think we should push to get those sold tonight. I think that should be our
that'd be great. That way I can have my friend come over with and build that thing. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Now the next panel member, Mr. POV himself, looking awfully fine today. How are you? What's been going on? How's your week been? Nothing. Brilliant.
Nothing, man. Just following around these two morons. That's all.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen, you might end up in the news tomorrow for saying something as outrageous as that. You got to watch what you're saying there. Do you know what I'm saying?
Looking good, Andrew. Looking good too.
No. Oh no.
Yeah, Andrew he's looking fine. He's looking fine. So yeah, keep doing what you're doing, Andrew, and we will be back to you in just a minute. Michelle, how are you? Looking fabulous.
Hey guys.
How's your week?
Hello.
How are y'all?
Oh, you're on my X or my TikTok also.
Oh yeah. Hi Tom.
Hey, how are you?
Although I'm enjoying my High Grove jelly.
Nice. I don't want to rub it in, guys, but I was up all last night. I didn't sleep at all because I was bidding on that jar, the one jar of jam with the hair in it, number 49. Yeah. And
I don't think there was a 49. I think there was just that one with 17 out of 50 written on it, Tom. I'll be honest with you. Have we seen any more evidence that there was more than one thing of jam? I don't know. But hey, listen, we're not here.
I'm just hoping she'll buy him some brand new fresh glue sticks, like for Archie and Lily, so the labels stay on better.
Right. Well, before we get into any more liable statements, we will just introduce Lady Laticia. How are you? Welcome to the panel.
I'm doing great, Ron. It's so nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you too. Okay, listen, we all know why we're here. All right, we all know why we're here. Okay, Tom, you have had an outrageous week with the press this week. Okay, I mean, to put it mildly, it's outrageous. And putting aside the fact that it's a family member you're talking about, so really, out of everyone here, you have more right to be talking about your sister than anyone, if I'm being honest. What was it like when you woke up the day after you posted that video, mate? Just take us through that.
It was nice. I went outside, had my coffee, and looked at the ocean, and yeah, it was a pleasant day. But then I see, well, I already knew it was coming because they texted me like the day before, who was it? Patrick Hill at the Sunday Mirror, the New York Post, whatever. Jack Royston at Newsweek. This other guy, Grant Hoxton, which is Backgrid. And they said, oh, yeah, we're running a story about your vile attack, your vile, disgusting attack on your sister and trolling Meghan. So, but I responded to both of those posts, and I posted them on my Instagram and everywhere else, too. The actual text that I got.
Yeah.
And all I said, all I replied was like, say hi to Meghan for me. So,
well, here's the thing. I mean, you put up a parody skit, okay, which is effectively what it was, right? And I'm right in saying at no point did you use any real names.
No.
So a lot of assumptions were made.
Of course. But you know, basically it's just like I say this on all my shows. If you don't like it, don't watch, right? If you're that thin-skinned and you think you're the only one who can run around and talk shit about people, I mean, and the biggest example is Boozy and the Sussex Squad and the vile attack on Princess Catherine for weeks on end. I mean, and she's behind it. They already proved it, but those stories disappear, you know. But they just want to make
Tom, do you think that your sister had anything to do with all those reports?
I think, oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, my gut feeling. I mean, she's definitely behind it because she's always wanted to silence the entire family. As far as she's concerned, you know, she'd just prefer all the Markles dead and gone. And it's no joke. I mean, she's had every opportunity to stop this attack with the Sussex Squad on everybody, not just me, but I've gotten some pretty vicious threats. Samantha has too, and a lot of my viewers. So
I'll be honest with you. The times when I spoke to Sam, the things that she's told me about what she's went through sounds like a movie. I'll be honest with you. It is completely insane. And
let me stop you for 1 second, Ron, because that right there is about the most disgusting thing a human being could do. Is to not stop that. A vicious, threatening, life-threatening attack on a disabled woman in a wheelchair. And it's your sister.
Well, I mean, the threats are one thing, but it's the invasions of privacy that have taken place. It's quite insane the levels of sophistication some of these people have went through to torment your sister. And how was your dad after all this happened? And then I'm going to go around the panel. How has your dad been since all this kicked off?
Well, he's okay. He's just like he goes. I mean, you know, sometimes he says I go over the line, right? I get a little crude. My language is not the best, but you know, I don't cross the line. And she can't come after me because it's me and 100 other channels and so many other outlets, South Park, SNL, Chris Rock. I mean, the list is endless of people roasting her.
It is a big list.
It is a big list.
It is a big list.
But what exactly are they saying that you said wrong, Tom? Like, is there words that they're saying weren't right, or are they saying it's just you're not allowed to say that because you're her brother?
No. First of all, I do have the right to defend myself, and I do have the right to do freedom of speech and a comedy skit and parody skit on my show. And basically they said I used Meghan, and then they classified that as like an online bad nickname for Meghan. Meghan. Right?
I call her worse.
Can I just say something?
Yeah, of course.
I call her worse, Tom. I mean, we really go at her.
Yeah, and that's what they're upset about. So, you know, I mean, I texted, I left a comment on GB News. I said, at least you could have done was just say like and subscribe my channel. You know?
Yeah. I mean, it's courteous. Do you know, it always amazes me how uneducated mainstream news likes to portray themselves when it comes to how people earn money on YouTube and from streaming. There was this big shock and awe about, oh, you know, Tom making money online and all the rest of it. It's what do you think? I mean, are the people that are reporting it for free and putting out the information online? It's a madness. So listen, we're gonna go around everybody, Tom. Let everybody sort of pitch a question to you and all the rest, and then we'll circle back. and we'll dig a little deeper into this. And I'd quite like to start with Molly. She was trying to say something and never managed to there. So Molly, how are you, first of all?
I'm doing great. How's everyone else doing today? How are all my nerds doing?
We're doing pretty nerdy.
We're loving you always.
I have a question. First of all, I thought Meghan Markle, well, more of a statement, but Tom, I thought Meghan had said she doesn't have any siblings and she was an only child. So I don't understand why they would be coming after you anyways in the first place.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we don't exist.
Yeah,
I mean, just everybody, just so you know right now, this is a big illusion. I'm not here.
You're a hologram. You're a hologram. But also, I'm just, the thing, you know what it is? I feel like, okay, I got to be completely honest because I adore Tom Jr.'s sense of humor, right? Yeah. But I completely understand the backlash also, and I understand where other people are coming from. And I feel like when Meghan has already basically dug her own grave and shown herself to be the despicable person that she is, I think it's the crude humor that people are getting offended by. Like, you know, I think you did a video where you had Harry's, I think it was Harry's underwear with the poop streaks and stuff.
No, that was somebody else. That was somebody else.
Okay, but even if it was somebody else, I feel like people get offended by that. And I'm just telling you as like a friend and just as what I'm hearing and seeing also. I feel like Meghan has done so much already. Like, why give the squaddies and her clan a reason to come after you and paint herself as more of a victim because, oh, her brother is making fun of her and saying these things about her, right? Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, they said that I'm responsible for spreading false narratives and conspiracy theories about the surrogates and the moon bump. Okay. And first of all, that's not me. I mean, anybody can go online and find hundreds of pictures of the moon bump between her knees, folding over, popping, you know, it's out there. Yeah. So that's not on me. That's on her. If she's going to be that ignorant and expect people to believe that, that's not my problem.
Oh, they'll believe it because they're stupid.
And if anyone's got any questions on the moon bump, we do have the prestige PhD moon bumpologist in the panel this evening.
That's me. Hello. I've been bringing up the moon bump theory like before anyone else. Like I've been calling that moon bump a moon bump since we saw it squish down and drop down to her knees.
Yeah, it's a fascinating one because the more you look into it, the more you are like, there is something going on here that is, I mean, again, if you've ever, you know, had a partner who's had a baby or been around someone who's had a baby or been pregnant and all the rest of it, there's just a certain stage of pregnancy where you are done with regard to mobility and all of that kind of stuff.
Well, not only that, Ron, I think that if Meghan was actually pregnant, she would have flaunted like everything. She would have had photo shoots. She would have had selfies on Instagram. She would have done everything and shown that baby bump to the entire world, and she never did for a reason.
And I just need to say, just because it's not my YouTube channel, this is all alleged. These is all theories we have. We're allowed to have an opinion, people. Okay, we're allowed to question narratives. We're allowed to do all of this. Sadly, it turns out, if you're Meghan's brother, you're going to be heavily penalized for that when you put out a comedy skit. And when we boil this down, this is the age-old argument over free speech and free expression. Okay, and I'm a big believer in free speech, and there's a saying, I believe it goes, I might not like what you're saying, but I support your right to say it, okay? And it's a hard one for some people to get their head round, okay? But you need to understand how important free speech is, and we're going to delve a little bit into that later. Now, next on the hit list, I think we should throw the newbie into the spotlight here. Lady Laticia. Tell us, first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself. Give us a wee introduction, and then you can go into a question for Tom.
Well, hello, everybody. Victoria, my lovely Paula, hello. POV, hello, Ron, and hello, Thomas Markle. I consider you a celebrity.
I love your nails, by the way. Beautiful.
Thank you. Yes. They're a little too long, even for myself, but there they go. And hello, Royal Daily Tea. So basically, I do have a question for Thomas Markle, but really quick. I'm from Texas, and I started my channel when she started lying when she was in Africa, saying no one said anything about me. And so and then the Oprah show, that really did it for me. And then I just started a channel and just started telling people how I felt about the situation and how I felt about her. Now, back to Thomas Markle, because I do want to ask him about his skits. I saw the skit. I thought the skit was nicely done. And I mean, I thought it was no worse or no different than what is that show?
South Park.
South Park.
Yeah, I agree.
South Park, when they said she didn't have a soul and Privacy Tour, I really thought that his skit was okay. I said, well, what's wrong with his skit? And then I thought too about the skit too. I thought it was exposing her, and I think that's what makes her upset, because it exposes the fact that there is something going on with the moon bump and the whole theory around the kids, because you never see the kids. The kids are always in hiding, or we never see the kids. We don't know from what age, you don't. You see my little girl all the time. Well, some of us do. And you can see her grow, but you don't see the kids. And there's a mystery around that. And so I just think that Thomas Markle expressed his, disappointment with his sister by his acts. And I didn't see that it was horrible. I didn't. Other than anything else, like Chris Rock said, she won the light skin lottery, and all the rest of the skits and things that people put out there.
I've forgotten about that.
Do you think then it was
about that?
Because let's be honest, this isn't the first time Tom's done a skit. So do you think it was the subject matter more than the action? Well, because you're the brother, because you're technically, the world's going to see you as a more concise knowledge base, I guess, if you will. And so do you think it was because you put out the conspiracy that everyone...
Well, I want to dive into this really quick about what they left out of their coverage on GB News and all the coverage. And basically, everybody has known about this for the longest time. Everybody's had their opinions and made fun and done their own little thing about it. But who really blew the lid off this was Lady C on her show, right? On her video. She's the one who said, I've got the proof of the surrogates. I've got the proof of Doria's prison time. Go ahead, come after me and sue me, right? And it's just like, and they want to pin this on me making conspiracy theories. It's like, there's thousands of them out there.
Yeah.
But
and you're not wrong, because once that whole theory was brought to light through the show to me, because obviously I'm a newbie to all this, I started peeling away the beer label on it, and it's really weird because it's things that, again, if you've never seen someone go through a whole pregnancy, you might just miss completely. Do you know what I'm saying? Like at 9 months pregnant, bending your knees and dropping down and then trying to push yourself back up again. 90% of the time I've seen anyone pregnant doing that, there is a hand on their back and they are counterbalancing as they're coming up.
I don't think you can get back up.
Nah. And it's possibly one of the most scary realizations of a conspiracy actually coming to light. I really do feel that, and I think your Lady Leticia's point there, it hit the nail on the head with the fact that it was the moon bump that was the focus. It's interesting that that's what they've chosen to seek and destroy you over, Tom, because
but it's a trigger, isn't it?
Yeah,
but it triggered her.
The thing about it is, like, Lady C is very smart in the way she did this, because you can't do that without proof. And she put her money where her mouth is. Come on, bring it on. So
yeah. I mean, she lives in a castle. I mean, if you're going to sue someone, don't sue someone who lives in a castle. That's going to be my first suggestion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So listen, let's throw the floor to the wonderful Paula. The wonderful Paula.
Well, you know, I'm a big supporter of yours. And what is really interesting, because I was actually very outraged when they used GB News, I believe, that they said that they should take your channel down, that they should talk to YouTube and take your channel down because you were being gross. And it kind of goes, I mean, let's really analyze this. If they do shut you down, which they won't, over a bad joke, or because you see, humor is subjective. Humor is subjective, you know. What does that mean for the rest of us YouTubers? That we will have to now be worried about what joke we say about Meghan Markle because that may offend her. And I was really shocked. I mean, I saw this skit. I was really shocked, not at the skit, but at the reaction. I really didn't think anything of it. I thought I saw it and I'm like, oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
You know,
Like,
and that was it.
Yeah,
How did these people react? This is what I want to ask you. How quickly after you did that skit? Because Molly especially has proof that your sister does watch our channels. I've said it before many times, right, Ron? We've said this many times.
Yeah. Well, listen, we've always you've always said it. I've kind of jokingly been like, yeah, of course. But honestly, it's weird how convinced I am now that eyes are on everybody.
But what I wanted to ask you, a couple of things. How quickly after you did your YouTube thing did you start getting those emails from, or text message, whatever the hell it was, from Jack and all the press and stuff like that? Because that would be a pretty good indicator that they're really watching you. Number one.
Day. I got them the next day. It started.
Wow. Number one. That's number one. And number two, why would they go directly to accuse you of bullying your sister instead of saying, dude, you know, that was a bad joke?
It wasn't even a bad joke. It's like it's not a bad joke. It's comedy and parody.
Yep.
And that's what it is. So there again, she doesn't have to watch. Right.
Well, this is it. And I honestly feel like we want to just keep striking the nerve, because that got a massive reaction, Tom.
And Ron, was there any actual pushback from YouTube? Did you get any YouTube emails or warnings?
No.
Oh, see, and here's the thing. Here's how I feel, honestly. All we have to worry about is YouTube. We don't have to worry about anyone. Like, no, I'm serious.
Right.
Because
how do you
when
fight
you
back?
upload the video, you know how it says no issues were found with your video? Hey, man, if YouTube lets us say whatever we want, you know, I can't say the F word very much. Ron, you know that when you're streaming. You know, you can't use curse words. You can't say certain things. Hey, man, as far as I'm concerned, the only people that matter that you don't break the rules with is YouTube. That's it. Screw everyone else.
You know, and if they set me a guideline of warnings or where I cross the line, or of course I would correct it. But I'm the only thing I've been reprimanded for on YouTube is copyright infringement, which I play a song too long. And
just to rephrase, there was no nudity. No name.
Everybody knows when that happens, you get a little X right through your $sign.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
So just to make clear for everybody, because people think that you did something disgusting. There was no nudity. There was no name calling. There were no swear words. That's it. There's nothing like that at all. And you never said it was your sister.
Yep.
Am I summing it up correctly here?
Yeah. So can I ask a question?
Of course.
So in the meantime, with, you know, all these news outlets and stuff that are attacking and telling Thomas Markle Jr. that he needs to remove his channel, how do you fight back against that? Like, how do you like, you know, do we write a letter? Is this part of that, you know, fight back, you know, talking about it and getting it out there, how we feel about it? Because I really don't think that the skit was one to bring this much attention to. If anything, it's making you more famous.
Well, I think there's much better issues and much more important issues to bring light to. And it's definitely not the fact that I'm merching and making money and collecting tips off YouTube when Meghan's been merching off the royal family millions, right?
Every day.
She's
Yeah,
worried
but
about.
Thomas, they called you bitter. It's because you're bitter. Remember?
Oh,
listen,
yeah,
listen. Let's cut to the chase here. Right?
You're a bitter.
I think
You're
you're
a bitter
disappointed
brother.
in your sister. I think you're disappointed in her, and
you
you're
feel
letting
let
her know
down.
that.
She is
Yeah,
a
you're letting it.
disappointment.
You're letting your
Listen,
frustrations out.
let's get to the nitty-gritty here. You've done something that the mainstream media can finally weaponize in Meghan's attempt to further destroy her family. That is what we're looking at here. Do you really think anyone, if Meghan hadn't done some pulling in some strings and all the rest of it, no one would be paying attention to this? Okay, nobody.
Well, in the article, Lizzie Cundy was the one that wrote it, and she wrote that there's a plan in place to take down anyone that criticises Meghan. No one's allowed to criticise Meghan, and of course she's launched her new website and she wants it to be all good press, so she doesn't want anyone being critical of her whatsoever. So I think it's also got something to do with the timing of the skit as well. And how do you think she's going to put that to action?
Well, she's not.
Victoria, did you also know something? I heard that people in hell want ice water.
That's what exactly. And it's like, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but that threw me about what she wants. Isn't this? It's always been about what Meghan wants.
It feels like she's really trying to control the whole narrative continuously, and how we can't say what she's trying to stop people from saying what we feel and what we can't express.
Calling us bullies.
But she doesn't have that power that she used to have. And honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, Tom. I didn't like the skit. It wasn't my cup of tea. But so what? You have freedom of speech. I think you do really great videos. And I was talking to one of my friends, and I'm like, it's funny how Meghan Markle and Prince Harry get all the free speech. They can make money off of Spare. They made money off their docuseries, telling their truth, slamming their family. So Thomas Markle Jr., who didn't ask to be famous, whose family didn't ask to be in the news, but their sister married a royal prince and then abandoned them, right? And then the media was going in your backyard, investigating you, putting stories out about you regardless. So now that you have a channel where you're defending yourself and trying to make money while you're taking care of your father, it's like, why do you have the same right that Meghan and Harry have? It's the same thing. And you're not doing anything wrong. It's a parody, right? You're allowed to make money. It's a YouTube channel. You have an opinion on a family member and a public figure.
Yeah.
Like Harry and Meghan did for millions of dollars, but yet they want to shut you down.
I thought that they could shut me down. I was like, I might be saying, I may be in trouble. I said, they're going to kick me off of here or do something to me because I just say what I want to say and it's not always nice. And so I was like, okay, I'm doing good because everybody else it seems to be telling what they want to say and how they want to say it. Yeah. But it's like Paula said, it just depends on the individual, what you think is good or bad. But I don't see it. To me personally, I thought it was a joke. I mean, honestly, he was pretending like we were having a baby, and then she sat out and it went, and then
I think
and then after it blew back up. I mean, it was on an honest skit.
Yeah.
Do you guys know?
Can I also express my disappointment in GB News for not adding the sound effects? That was really, come on.
Yeah.
If anything, it goes to show how much hardship Meghan Small has been going through because her channel has been spot on exposing and doing stuff. And I can tell you, whenever I have asked for the copy of the Lily's birth certificate and I get the answer saying there's no such child registered in California with those details, people hate it. And I get shadow banned. And Meghan Small, you've gone through a lot with that, right?
Well, I was trying to say that, don't you guys notice how every time we get close and talk more about the surrogacy stuff, it turns into a big debacle? Like what happened to me when I got too close to about the surrogacy stuff, and now Tom was making fun of the surrogacy stuff and they make an uproar. So every time they make a stink about the surrogacy stuff, it just makes us look more into it, because if there's nothing behind it, why would you get so pissed off about it.
I completely agree. Also, Tom, I keep muting you because I'm getting a little bit of feedback when you're not talking and other people are talking. So if you see me mute you, it's just because of that.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I've been having problems ever since, people getting into my computer, messing up my videos, going after my subscribers and their credit cards, and I've been getting so many complaints.
Let's touch on.
I got so many emails. I just want to say something. I got so many emails sent to me by the sugars. See, this is the man you were defending. This is the man you've had on your channel. Think twice before having him. It's disgusting. You know, people, and I'm like, I you know, it's amazing how the machinery starts, because I didn't even know you had done that video, Tom. I started getting emails about it. Have you seen your disgusting? And I'm like, what did he do? Because let's face it, you've done chicken stuff here. You know, we've done the chicken. Chicken. How many kids have you done with us? I mean, and it, oh my God, that's so cute.
Just to interrupt the royal mess, we have obviously the most important panel member right here, Mr. Ziggy. How are you?
What do you think about all this?
Oh, he's talking at the mic. Oh my God.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh my God.
he obviously liked the video.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy the video?
Blink twice if you liked it.
he is like, nah, mate, this is my show. This is my dad's channel. What are you all doing here? You know
exactly. Do you like my glasses, Ron? I thought I'd copy you.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I feel the vibe. I'm nothing but short of an inspiration. Listen, just while we're taking a Ziggy break here, can we all make sure that we share this stream? I'd quite like to get this particular show out to as many people as we possibly can. Obviously, Tom has been a long-standing friend of the channel. We've done a lot of work together, and I have said all week that this whole issue is being blown out of proportion. But when we look at mainstream media, we have to ask why. And it's the first time you've done something that struck a nerve, Tom, that they've managed to weaponize, that the mainstream media can get behind to push against you. Now, you mentioned earlier your subscribers have been attacked. Paula has told us extensively about what she's went through. Can you just touch a little bit on the intrusiveness of what's going on your life since it's happened with the sugars, whatever you want to call them? Can you just tell us the impact, and if there's been anything new that's happened since this video went up to you and your subscribers? Just touch a little bit more on that, please. Yeah, like I said before, it's just the way I look at it, the way I see it is like Christopher Boozy, right? The computer guy, right? Obviously, they're super good friends, and he's like one of the main guys pushing the campaign, and they already proved that the hate campaign against Catherine. So the way I look at it, a computer guy, hackers into my channel, hackers for people who donate tips and their credit cards getting messed with. It's her, again, trying to control the narrative, right? And it must be nice to just sit around with tens of millions of dollars of other people's money to spend like it's yours, and put your ads and put your word out there, but nobody else is allowed to. And it's just another example of that.
Can I jump in here real quick? Because I remember, Tom, be careful, because they did this exact thing to Yankee Wally also. Yeah. When Boozy came out onto the scene, there was an instance where someone had sent her a link via text message. And for some reason, she clicked on that link and it emptied out her bank account somehow. So I'm just saying, be very careful, because these people have a history of doing this. There was also another YouTuber who has passed away now, Ashley from Danger Zone.
Yes.
Her house was set on fire, and even her mother's house too. And people have always said it was allegedly the Sussex Squad who did it. I mean, they have targeted her and her dog also. I mean, these people are sick. So be very careful. That's all. Yeah,
they're also going after my school, you know. I've been
after the threats. Hang on 1 second. How nice is it that just Meghan condones this, that we have to look over our shoulders? Always.
I know it's absolutely disgusting. I find it so disgusting every time she's hugging some strange random family, because you're like, okay, well, these people are strangers. They don't know the type of disgusting human being she actually is and how she's treating her own family. But also, you got to think about this broad goes around preaching about compassion and love and care. And here is exactly what she's doing to her own family. And the thing is that none of this would have happened had Meghan Markle not attacked the Markle family first. Had she kept her mouth shut about them like she has about the Ragland family, none of this would be happening. Trust me, if I was in Tom's position and someone attacked my father the same way, I would be scorching the entire earth because of it. I get it.
Thank you, Crazy Lady, for that donation. Tom, do you know much about social engineering? Because when you were talking about your subscribers being attacked, right? Did they give you evidence or anything to back it up, or was it just them emailing you their concerns? Because social engineering can take place where if I tell you that somebody's attacked me and my credit cards from donating to you, and then you go and say that publicly, you might put off 100 people from donating. And it's sometimes you don't think where these attacks can come from. And what social engineering does is whittles away at you. It's chipping away.
I can definitely see that point, but I actually said that to everybody. I said, you know, I mean, I told them that. I said, if anything happened to your credit cards, tell your bank, tell them where it came from and where it happened, and let them trace it, because it's a crime. It's an international crime also. Some of the things that my members have told me that they've gone through and have personal experiences, well, you know, it's just bad. And I'm glad it's documented, because I mean, things are going to happen with this. It's not going to go away. I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg. I have quite a bit that I'm sitting on right now, and I'm happy about it. I'm not worried about it. So
do you not feel a little bit like if you were going to drop a bomb, this is the time to do it, with the media attention staring, whether it's positive or negative, staring right at you?
I'm going to drop a lot of bombs. Trust me.
Do it. Do it. Do
it.
Listen to Parental.
Tell everybody, you guys all remember what it was about 6 months ago, maybe a little bit longer, we did that special on Carl Larson.
Oh yeah. Did he contact you?
No, he did a couple months ago, and he wanted to know what the .coms and the trademark names that Meghan had registered like years before the wedding, right? Which was creepy in itself. And I don't really respond to him, but I said, you know, I typed back, I said, I think it's www, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I imagine.
But what I'm talking about, Carl Larson, we all talked about, he is totally in Meghan's pocket. And it's so easy to put all this stuff together when you just see what happens on the outskirts, right? So Armando, again, told me yesterday that Carl contacted Armando again to find out like where my dad is, where he's living. And so it brought up that whole thing again about Armando trying to get in the house while my dad was in the hospital with a stroke, right? Everybody remembers this. And I had Armando come on the show and he clarified it all. So Armando, Carl is still after that letter from Meghan, which is in good hands now, by the way. So
hopefully yours. Can I say something here? I just want to read you something here, guys, because I think people forget this, and this is why it really bothers me, the press. It says here, they were teenagers when they moved into their parents' home prior to Meghan being born. Doria left Tom when Meghan was 2 years old, moved on to other side of town, 45 minutes. His other children were 15 and 17 years old. Tom Jr. and Samantha dropped out of high school and moved out of their father's home same year. With a 16-year age gap and Meghan being a baby, there was minimal interaction. Meghan saw them a handful of times when she was under the age of 5. Then again, when she was 11 years old, she didn't see her half-sister again until after her father asked her to attend Samantha's graduation in New Mexico when Meghan was 22 years old. She saw her for one date and hasn't seen her since. Upon Meghan dating Harry, Samantha changed her last name back to Markle and began a career creating stories to sell to the press. She has lost custody of all 3 of her children from different fathers. And though the press has been back briefed about the non-relationship with Meghan, they continue to give her media opportunities. Meghan last saw Tom Jr. at their grandmother's funeral approximately 10 years ago. Meghan was her primary caregiver and took care of her in the final years of her life. And Meghan has never had a relationship with either of them. She was always referred to as an only child by both of her parents and all of their friends. There has been no communications or outreach. I mean, and all of these facts can be validated by anyone who has known Meghan since childhood or afterwards. Why am I reading this? This is the email that Meghan sent to Jason Kanoff to feed to Carolyn Duran and Omid Scobie. Okay, this is the woman. And what is really scary here, Tom, is that she admits there that the press has been back briefed about you and Samantha.
Yeah.
God knows what she told the press, because to this day, you're still vilified because of those briefings. And you know, this other email, I'm just going to read it quickly. It says, Harry saying, equally, you given the right context and background to them would help get some truths out there. The truth is very much needed and would be appreciated, especially around the Markle wedding stuff. But at the same time, we can't put them directly in touch with their friends, so we can deny we had anything to do with this. So Harry and Meghan have been trashing you and have been taught how to trash you using third parties. And this is why your reputation and that of Samantha's is the way you are. Your life has not been the same ever since. Meghan, and people say that the royals don't complain, don't explain, because they don't need to. They're huge. They know that they snap their fingers and they have the world press at their feet. You don't. It's an uneven fight.
Yeah, completely. Hang on one, Tom. I just need to unmute Tom there.
Well, I can just say 2 things that would already just blow that story out of the water. And that's like, we can always go back to the nursing home where my grandmother was for 2 years before she passed. And my dad made it very adamant that I was there every weekend to spend with my grandmother. And Meghan would come, not every time. She would come sporadically, maybe once every couple months. So she was not my grandmother's caregiver in the final years of her life. She was there, I would say, I don't know. I remember her being there about 5 or 6 times. But me and my dad were there every weekend. We can go to any one of Meghan's schools and, oh yeah, Tom, he's been here for her plays. Yeah, he's attended. And birthday parties, it's just everything that comes out of this woman's mouth is just a lie. And it's just, that's why I do what I do, you know?
Yeah. Everything that goes in is something else.
All right, we lost Laticia. I just want to say, if you're watching, you're more than welcome to come and jump straight back on. Let me throw this over to Andrew. Is there anything that you want to throw over to also as well?
I just found this. Apparently, Meghan Markle went to the Daily Mail, and it's always so obvious when she does this. A source close to the 2 morons. And that's when we basically know it's her. Yeah. So she's saying that the jam is authentic as it comes.
Where is their jam growing in California now?
And it's made in her house. That's what the source close to the Sussexes is saying, which is her. And you would think by now she would be smart enough to stop doing this, but she just keeps on doing it because you know what her biggest problem is? She always has to clap back in the press. And that is her biggest problem. If she would stop doing that, then fine. But this says a source close to the Sussexes that it was made in her house. The ingredients are from her house as well.
This is a nightmare situation.
Andrew, just like you just said, a source, right?
Yeah.
Which is just like the source says that she gave me or she paid $5 million to silence me. Source.
Okay, number one, there's no strawberries growing right now in Cal. It's too early. It's too early for strawberries, number one, in California. Number two, you always know it's Meghan or someone on their team because they can't just respond and just leave it alone. If they do respond, they always have to throw someone under the bus. Like with the article that Andrew was just talking about, they talk about how, oh, Meghan's product is made on site at her $14 million Montecito mansion, but the king's high growth stuff is brought in for his jams. So Meghan is the master of deflection. Whatever she's always accusing others of doing, know that it's her that's doing it. Yeah, my opinion. Yeah.
Did anyone actually see it though? Did you notice that the jam is separated in the photos? Like at the top you can see liquid, and then at the bottom is all the hard stuff.
Well, that's why Nacho
it doesn't look like it tastes good. I'm not even lying. It looks gross.
Nacho wasn't eating it in that photo. He was like avoiding it,
he was
so
like
he didn't get diarrhea on his polo pony.
Like he had the toast and the jam like right there. He wasn't actually eating it.
Yeah.
Let me throw this over to Tom. Right. First of all, Tom, we'll get to jam wars. We'll lighten the mood for a minute after this question.
Did your father get one?
This is from Disco 1000 for Tom. Did Meghan lie like this all the time when she was a child? Oh, hang on a second, Tom. You're muted. Sorry, hang on. That's my bad. Hang on 1 second, Tom. My bad. There you are, brother. You're good.
I don't really know because, like I said, we got together on birthdays and holidays, and I moved out when I was just about 18 when they moved to Hollywood. So I just noticed, I mean, she was just a spoiled little kid. I mean, I remember her running around the house and just, temper tantrums and stuff like that. But it's just, I really noticed like a problem because Dad told me a lot of things. He made me aware of it. And just her facial expression is priceless because that says it all. Yeah. But she never wanted for anything. And all this lying and all this really manipulation really started like probably in college. I mean, there's stories about the hazing thing, and I don't know, but she can do no wrong in her eyes. Yeah. But
hey, you know what the stupidest story I heard? I don't know if you know that story about the Ford Explorer. Do you remember that?
With the dent?
Well, no, it was supposedly so broke down that she had to climb in through the back.
Yeah, no. My dad wouldn't let her drive a car like that. Yeah. Anyway.
Did your father get a jam? Did he get a basket from Meghan with jam?
No, no, none of us got any jam either. No.
Oh, so listen, I wanted to throw this over to Jen. She came here late, and I'm sorry to throw you on the spot here. But is there anything?
No, go for it.
Is there anything you want to throw over to Tom about what's been going on, whether it's questions or how you're feeling about it, or let us know.
I'm listening to all the BS that's come out of her mouth. Obviously, what is the biggest BS she's ever said?
Yeah, that's a good question.
You had talent for acting.
Well, I don't know. They're all pretty high up on the list as like being obscene and absurd. I mean, it's like poor growing up. She was an orphan, no siblings, had to share a Sizzler salad bar. She put herself through school. Yeah. She got herself into the UN. No, none of that's true. Yeah. My uncle did. So
yeah. I still think the best one is High Speed Chase Through New York. That is still my favorite.
That was terrible.
Right, let's just take this full circle for a second here, because them criticizing you is one thing, Tom, right? Them coming after you is another, but trying to push this new narrative where mainstream is now verbally attacking and calling for the takedown of channels. Okay, we've seen it with Russell Brand, we've seen it with Andrew Tate, and I'm not comparing you to these two. These are just names that are at the top of my head.
Look at Andrew.
Yeah, so.
That's a lot, man.
There seems to be this want to normalize cancellation via the mainstream media now, if you see what I'm saying. And do you feel that? How do you feel about the those words being said in the news? Now, I mean, that must have been a colon clenching moment when you heard that.
colon clenching moment.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, when you hear that on the mainstream news,
it's just, I mean, there's rights here. There's freedom of speech. I mean, if you're outright like attacking somebody verbally and insulting them, I mean, by name, and that's one thing, right?
Yeah, I get 100%.
But there again, that's still freedom of speech. It's my opinion, right?
And freedom of expression.
It's everybody's opinion.
Yeah.
So what makes her special? Just because she's got, you know, hordes of money to throw around and try and control it. She's got friends in high places. I know that.
Yeah.
One of them was that Google executive at the polo match. So the same thing with, like, you know, Samantha's court case. Yeah. How all of a sudden does this judge just drop the case and dismiss it without seeing the evidence and not wanting to see the evidence? They had a court date set up and everything, and then all of a sudden it's dismissed. I would bet my bottom last dollar, allegedly, that judge probably has a new car or a nice house or a vacation coming somewhere. You know,
allegedly. Yes, allegedly. Yeah.
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 But it's crazy.
Yeah, it really, really is. And again, it's a scary concept moving forward for freedom of speech, for what you can do online. And there's a lot of laws they're trying to push through in the UK that are going to change a lot of things. Now, before we go any further, Tina, secret agent Tina, how are you? How are you?
I've just got off work, so I thought I'd pop on. It's full house tonight. Jesus.
Yes. Yeah, it's a chunky panel this evening. We're filling out the
I take offense to that.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of us. We're squeezing in. So how do you feel about all this? Where do you stand with
do you know what? I said, didn't I, on the news flash the other day, Thomas Markle Jr., you know, after all we've watched Harry and Meghan do, I'm sure we can forgive Thomas Markle Jr., who did make me laugh when I watched your post. And I know a lot of people don't agree with it, but I thought it was funny. But your family must be tired now. It must be so gut-wrenchingly frustrating to have been placed in the situation you have, to watch it all roll out. There must be so many emotions connected to it. And we all deal with things differently, right? So you've been placed in this fishbowl kind of world with no way to put your voice out there, yet the people stand with you. And, you know, carry on doing you, because I'd rather watch you do that harmless sort of skit than watch a old frail woman and go to a grave that way and watch Catherine being mocked online over a chemotherapy, to be honest. So if people are insulted by your behaviour and we can just, you know, it's just, so the people are with you, Thomas Markle Jr. and your family. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, look at the wake of destruction and hate and pain that's left. She just came in and just bam, 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 and then left. And I mean, it's just like, what did she leave? What did she leave in her path? Nothing. Nothing but hurt, and it's just crazy.
That's why I've got something to ask you as well. Is at your family dinners, right? Your family get-togethers. Do you even discuss her?
Where?
That's the Tom. When you have a family get-together, does her name even leave your mouth?
Usually after you eat something bad and you throw up, then it comes out. But no, I mean, it's just me and my father. I've been here every day for him since he had a stroke over 2 years ago, and so it's just him and I, and then occasionally we've been out to visit Samantha a couple times, but
how does he feel about all this? I mean, he must be heartbroken. You know, how does he express himself when he speaks about Meghan?
Utter disappointment. You know, first of all, he would like his money back.
So sad.
From the college.
You know, one thing that Tom said when you did a live, when you came in, you said, and we were talking, and you said you were very upset and frustrated because you said you used to have a regular, normal life, and suddenly you get this stalker reporter come to you out of the blue, and you know, they get you outside the garage or something like that, and your life changed. And when you guys asked for help, it was denied, and instead you were ridiculed for it. But I remember your frustration and his shock, and people don't get that. You didn't ask for any of this. Neither did your father. Neither did Samantha.
Nope. It was overnight. It was an overnight change. That's why I wrote that letter, because I did reach out to try and get the paparazzi to leave me alone, and all the photographs and the smear campaign articles out everywhere saying hillbillies, drug addicts, alcoholics, prison ex-convicts. It's just like, what? Who does that?
Yeah. You know? It is organized attacks and destruction through media, 100%.
Prince Philip used to say that Meghan reminds him of Wallis Simpson, draws parallels with her. They've got a lot in common. Do you think it's like history repeating itself, and do you have an idea where this could end up? You know, the situation that we're in now, could it get any worse?
Well, you never know really what you're dealing with when you have the Sussex Squad involved, because these people incite violence. They have so much racism going on in their community. Yep. That they are the most racist people I've ever seen and read comments on ever. And the documented death threats, the people getting their houses burned down, you never know. So it could always get worse. And I've said that several times. I said, if anything happens to me, Samantha, or my father, there's only one person to go after, and that's Meghan Markle, because she is the queen of the Sussex Squad, and she controls these people. There's copied texts of their emails and their Twitter accounts of like, good job, squaddies, your quarterly bonuses are in your accounts. Check your accounts. That's sick. Yeah. You know, she's paying these people to attack people online. Anybody who says anything bad about her, and at any time she could have put an end to this, but. If you say it can get any worse, I think it's coming down to the wire now. All the shit's going to hit the fan, and that's all that's Meghan is going to have left is the Sussex Squad. Nobody else likes her. That's all she's going to have left. So good job, Meghan.
Sorry, Tom. Are you fearful that this could escalate?
Oh, you know, I look over my shoulder all the time. I take pictures of suspicious people, and I've got a few of them, and their license plates. And I've already told all my friends, showed pictures. You know, I have a pretty good network here. So,
yeah, good.
I want to ask you something, Tom.
One second, Paula. Can I just say to everybody, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Can you make sure you smash the like button? Can you all share this post as much, or share the stream, sorry, as much as you can? Just take a second to just do that while I talk a lot of nonsense for 30 seconds, because I want to make sure we get this as far out there as we can for Tom. We're competing with a lot of mainstream media who are doing just absolute destruction to this man's reputation. And I hope you all understand when I go on my rants about freedom of speech and all the rest of it, and when it comes to YouTube and, you know, maintaining a place where people can have a voice, I get very passionate about it. So
Ron, I just want to say something. I'm not saying that Meghan is like Wallis Simpson. I'm saying that there are similarities, and Prince Philip nicknamed her Wallis Simpson. Meghan, okay, it's not me. I'm just saying, putting that out there.
No, Victoria.
I wanted to ask Tom, you've had your channel for a long time, right? And I've seen your Instagram things, because you've been Instagramming for a while. You've had YouTube for about a year now, and and it's only when you hit like Meghan's Mole said, when you got to the pregnancy thing that you get clapped back. Does it put you off?
Correction.
Because does it put you off?
Correct. I've done that before. Twice. Yeah.
I'm also just about to post
now, because now you're more outside.
Some of my previous videos in the first like 6 months, or I've done some actually pretty funny things. I had a balloon under my shirt. And I think it was I don't know, I leaned over a candle and it popped, and I made a joke about it. Oops.
Yeah.
So
I'm about to share Tom's YouTube channel. We've got just over 3,000 people watching on Twitter, on Facebook, and on YouTube all combined. I'm about to post Tom's channel. Can we all just see if we can get, I mean, maybe 1,000 of you who are watching aren't subscribed to his channel. Can we just all go and make sure we give the channel an algorithmic boost. And if you want to go and subscribe, go to his latest video and leave 2 comments. Just, say, oh, great video, and leave 2 comments. This is going to boost the algorithm. It's going to, you have no idea. And this is a way that we can fight back that is obtainable to us all. So yeah, there's my little rant over.
But Megan Small, remember a while ago, just like a week ago, I was telling you I can't find your channel. Remember?
Yeah.
I was
out. Yeah. Yeah, that happens regularly where my channel, it's not really shadow banned, but you can't find it in the search engine, where before you would be able to type the first 2 letters and it would pop up. Now it's like you got to actually type in the entire name and then search for it down below. It's somewhere down there. I mean, it happens. It seems to go through lulls and little waves of that. But at the end of the day, you just got to keep pushing through. And I feel like Thomas Markle Jr. is getting this kind of attention now because his channel is growing.
Yeah.
He didn't get that much attention at the beginning, which is why they didn't pick up on the earlier videos and his earlier jokes.
Yeah.
But now that he's got over 30,000 subscribers, they're going to start paying attention to him.
Correct.
And also because people have discovered more of Meghan Markle, who she is. She doesn't have, she's more exposed. Her lies are more exposed. Don't you think, Molly?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. People are finally waking up to who she actually is. And I feel like that's what Tom should be, what's the word that I'm capitalizing on right now?
Correct.
He should be talking about all the BS that she brought up, rebut it, talk about your previous experience with your dad and stuff. Like, just show that she is a constant pathological liar. Like, I didn't know that your father would always hold on a second. I didn't know that your father would always be buying toys to donate to children. Like, I did not know that. And I bet a lot of people do not know that about your father too. It's just the narrative that she has spun out into the media right now.
Can I just throw it over to Michelle? The people in the side chat are calling out for you. So let us hear what you're thinking here.
Well, like I said, I think that all of us here in the Megxit community, we support Tom, and whether you agree with his humor or don't agree with his humor, we all have to remember he didn't ask to be here. They were just living their life, and Meghan went off and married someone, and they've been attacked relentlessly in the media. Yeah. And it's funny, Meghan's Mole, because I literally was looking for your channel and I would put Meghan's Mole and you wouldn't pop up.
Yeah.
Literally, I was like, oh my God, what happened to her? Where is she? Then finally, after 4 times, you popped up. That's so funny you said that.
You have no idea how many mini heart attacks I have during the day because people message me like, oh my God, I can't find your channel on YouTube. I can't find your channel. And I'm like, oh, it's still there.
Right. But I think we have a really good community here. And a lot of people now are kind of waking up to Meghan and Harry, because a lot of us have been out here for 2 or 3 years. Like, I started literally the day of the Oprah Winfrey interview. I was one of the first people on TikTok, and I called out her interview and I got so much hate. I was literally shadow banned from TikTok for a year. And one of my videos has almost 4 million views, but the amount of hate that I got scared me. It scared me off of TikTok, and I'm coming back. But I mean, I never in my life had dealt with so much hate before, but I was calling out the inconsistencies, and now everyone is doing it. Every time you turn around, there's another news channel doing it. But I think people like Paula and Megan Small and myself, we've been out here for years, dealing with a lot of hate. And so now you have people like Tina, who's over on TikTok, and she's got a great following and she has a great message. So I like the fact that people are waking up, but we're still being attacked. They're still trying to silence us. So
the great thing with Tom Markle Jr. is that even GB News and Talk TV, they didn't say you lied or that your skit was a lie, or they weren't questioning whether there was a surrogate involved. They just didn't like the delivery. Did you notice that?
Yep.
Nobody's saying, oh, he's lying. There's no such thing. Meghan didn't use surrogates or anything like that. Have you noticed that? They're just angry how you deliver. And by the way, you look fabulous as a brunette.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Do you not think though? Sorry.
Those really long hairs, I have a hard time keeping.
Your hair's better. Your weave is better than Meghan's. That's for sure. Right, Molly?
Definitely.
See, I've just got a gut feeling on this in how you've been attacked out the blue like this, Thomas. And I just feel like on the cusp of Harry and Meghan and the direction it's going. And we know at some point they're going to want back in the royal family. But then this big elephant in the room that your family, her family, they can't connect with one without the other. And I feel like this trying to muddy your name is sort of trying to, if they step back into the royal family, it will give them justification to why they're not doing that for you also. And a part of me just feels like it's a build up in trying to muddy your family again and put you back out there on full display. So should the royal family accept Harry and Meghan back in, it sort of justifies them not doing that with you. That's my gut feeling anyway, my opinion.
It's a really, really, really good point, Tina. You want to respond?
I have a way better chance of Meghan giving me $5 million to silence me than the royal letting them back in.
No, I know. I'm just.
I'll take $5 million. Sorry,
Sorry.
you go, Tina. Sorry.
I'm just saying, you know how they play their games, and just my gut feeling is if Harry and Meghan want that to happen, but they've got this big issue with the world then looking on and going, but what about the Markles? And the people screaming out, what about the Markles? They're trying to dirty your name in order to justify them not embracing you back in also, you know?
Absolutely.
That's just my gut. Anyway.
I think tomorrow, Tom, you should go out and buy 50 or to 100 jars of jam and remove the labels and then resell them as Tom Markle's white label jam. And just ride the algorithm of Markle and jam that is all over the news right now.
You know what's really funny is
and send it to each of us. One to Paula, one to Meghan Small, one to Ron. we'll actually display it. We'll do a proper. Oh, Meghan Small, tell Tom Markle about the thing about Nacho and how we know they're watching. Thanks to Andrew who brought that up, because it's insane. So we will do a proper influencer thing. Like we will open your bag and we will taste your jam.
I like how somebody snatched up the American Riviera Orchard UK.
Yeah,
genius.
That was great.
I wish you'd done it.
Of course, Meghan puts a story out there like that she's been like hijacked. Somebody hijacked her personally.
Yes, I saw that in the Independent.
What is that?
There's an article in the Independent saying that a royal prankster appears to have spread some mischief after buying a similar domain name to Meghan and redirecting it to a Waitrose page for King Charles's jam. So he's got loads of sales.
Nice.
And his jam shot up.
Apparently it's sold out.
Oh, I have mine. I'm so excited, y'all. I have my jam. I bought it for my birthday, the high growth package. I feel like I started that.
Love that. Love that.
Have you not seen the UK domain name, what they've done?
I donated £10 to that.
Oh yeah, so that for the food bank, they've done it in honor of
the food bank. Yeah, I did
that. That's a good.
That's fantastic.
Victoria, to add to your point there, there's also a Canadian version. So if you go to AmericanRiviera.ca, it's called the Canadian Riviera. And then there's a link and it goes to the Royal Foundation and you can leave a donation there.
Oh, that's amazing.
I swear to God, there's never been so much jam on people's like kitchen tables this year.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Charles's jam's organic, so it's better for you.
I'm literally.
I feel like
environment.
It's such a British response. Just go and buy all the jam. The counteractive, the opposite. Yeah. Just go and buy all the jam. That's what we do.
Also with Tom. Tom, it's such a response with Tom too, because as he gets attacked, we will always have your back, Tom.
Yeah.
If you need a message said, you can say, you know what, I need to come onto your channel. You can use it. You will always we will always have your back. And this is something I believe that scares the Harkles, because before you were truly alone. But now, believe it or not, YouTube is a huge community.
Yeah.
And they say unity strengthens in unity. So they know that even smaller channels, big channels, but when you put them all together, it's a huge community. The outreach is incredible. And now they know you have access to that.
I just really hope that there isn't like a jam and jelly sweatshop going underneath in the dungeon of Montecito, where the kids are like, in the sweatshop slave labor, jam,
chopping up fruit. Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, you guys, I just went to go look and see what domains were available. So I looked up AmericanRivieraOrchard.net, and that was taken. But I looked up AmericanRivieraOrchard.us, and there's a website on there that says say no to unnecessary purchases, say yes to sustainability. I don't think that's Meghan's website, you guys.
Yeah, I don't think that's Meghan's website either.
What a dummy.
Was Meghan always this dumb? Because the way she's going about things are very stupid. I sent Ron a screenshot of an answer I got from the FDA in the United that was forwarded to me. That how she hasn't, because it was asked specifically about Meghan Markle, and I have a code because I export to the United States of the USDA, and I can go in and find out whether or not she has any American Riviera and Orchard or Mama Knows Best. That's the parent company, have any food products, right? And I can look at it, and they haven't registered anything. So Meghan goes at it backwards, instead of, she has nothing planned. Do you think it's because your father or everything has always been sorted out for her that now that she has to do it on her own, she's stupid about it?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Dad has said this several times in the last couple of weeks. He goes, he wishes he could get his money back from Northwestern because she didn't get an education, obviously.
Yeah.
Playing devil's advocate, Tom. I know, and I just want to ask this question, and I hope it doesn't offend you in any way, because I just want to ask this. If you could look at it in kind of like a kind of a holistic approach or an open-minded approach. If she come to you and she said, right, I want to reconcile, I want to sort things out and mend the broken relationship that you and your family have with her, is that something you would ever accept? Would you ever try to heal the rift?
Love that.
I've made this point, and I've said this several times. I don't think it would ever be genuine. And the only way that she could prove that fact if she made it a public apology, worldwide public apology first, and then with no Netflix crew or microphones that everybody knows she shows up with, because she would just do it for her own PR publicity. Trying to make amends with her father would actually make her look good, but everybody knows they're not going to buy it now.
Yeah.
Because remember, there is a small chance she might be watching it right now, so she could have just watched that. Next thing you know.
Yeah.
Oh, we know she's watching, right, Meghan Small? Because we did on Wednesday. We did with Andrew, right, Meghan and Andrew. We did the live, and Meghan Small pointed out that all the you tell it, man, because you're the one who got it. Who did that?
We were talking about her jam, and I had mentioned something along the lines of, "Oh, it's funny how everyone is posing with their jam, but we don't even see anyone actually tasting it." And if she really wanted to sell her products, it would be good if we saw someone eating it, consuming it, or even herself tasting it. And then we get the photo of Nacho pretending to eat it. But since we're on this talk about this jam, you know that she is supposedly begun her filming, right? For her cookery show, whatever.
Oh, I'm so excited.
So what has happened is that I think she has doxed the people whose house she is hosting this cookery show at. So Meghan Markle has basically linked up with an old couple, a 75-year-old and a 69-year-old philanthropist couple who live in Carpinteria, California, and is using their home and their kitchen. And Daily Mail published photos of their house, and now their address and everything is all over social media. And this is the same woman who constantly claims privacy, security, privacy, but has no cares about anyone else's privacy at all. 100%. I hope those two elderly people's children are watching, and they need to get involved and get this harlot out of their parents' homes.
See, I'm sorry,
because
but
literally, there are photos of their entire residence now floating all over social media. People have their exact address. It shows all. They say it's Netflix vehicles, but I think it's their own production vehicles that they have hired to try and get something put together for Netflix. But the fact that Harry and Meghan are or Meghan at least, it's constantly targeting elderly individuals. Like these people are 75 and 69 years old. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Meghan bent over with one of her low-cut shirts and the husband, oops, accidentally got a look. Accidentally. But you know, wife are best friends because we're philanthropists.
No, but you know what? It's amazing how she didn't even have to say where she's filming. She could have just put her show, but she always have to say that she's cooking from this mansion. And yes, Meghan Small, I've said many times,
worth and everything. Yeah,
I've said that that's not Netflix crew. Netflix, it's her crew. That what Harry took to that polo thing was actual production thing that they're renting. Netflix is just waiting to see what they produce to see if they're going to stream it. But yeah, you know, why does she have to say where she's filming? Why does she have to say? And did you see that article? The house is worth this amount of money, and why do they have to talk about money? Why didn't she just film the bloody thing?
That's what her worth is. Meghan thinks that just because she has something that's $5 million or she wears expensive outfits, that she's someone special. That's like, she is stuck in that 12-year-old retarded mentality of a little girl. My apologies for using the word retarded, but stuck in that mentality where she thinks like, oh, look at me, I'm playing in the kitchen, I'm making jam for friends, have my jam, like try it out. Like she is so immature, and the thing is that all she's doing is she's just social climbing in a different tax bracket. She's connecting herself to these people so that she can later say, oh, well, I'm friends with these people.
Exactly.
With these people. That's all she's doing.
Welcome back.
Cooking show, Tom. You should do a cooking. Hold on, Laticia. You should do a cooking show, Tom, and we will stream it. We will put it on all of our YouTube channels.
Yes.
We're cooking. Cook enchiladas with tequila. I can guarantee you, we'll stream it.
Did everybody see the article that came out a couple weeks ago about Harry and Meghan are getting worried because they're like they're running down below $60 million? I mean that pulled my heartstrings, so I wanted to see if we could start a GoFundMe.
Thank you very much.
Well, I have a question for you, Tom, if you don't mind. Yes, I'm back. I had to go get my daughter. Hello, everybody. I'll try not to dominate.
Hey.
This is for your father, because what bothers me a lot about your sister is the fact that she keeps the kids from seeing their relatives. Like that's such a big, no for me. And how is your father dealing with it? Like, I feel like, will he get an opportunity to see his grandkids on a video or even?
Well, we've talked about that, and I said, Dad, you're just going to have to be patient because there's 6 other parents involved, and they have to share them, so we have to wait our turn.
Yeah.
Allegedly, in my opinion.
At least she's consistent with it all.
But seriously, do a cooking show. Cooking some enchiladas. Try and make a jam, and we will put it. I sort of got at least on my channel. I will, and I'm pretty sure Ron and we can make a skit of it too. But we can all stream it. We can all share your cooking videos, and you can have a guest host or a guest in your cooking show. Like whatever.
I also want to make something clear. Also, Meghan talks about her jam being my grandmother's recipe. And that is a straight out lie.
Do you guys honestly think she's going to succeed in this Riviera orchard, whatever? I don't see a success story here. I don't see her. I don't see the jam being some kind of new thing on the market.
I think American Riviera Orchard is just another washing machine for money.
Yeah, I mean.
How much so? I don't see her making millions.
No, you can have a company because it's registered in Delaware also. Their Mama Knows Best and American Riviera Orchard is now re-registered in Delaware under an LLC. And everybody knows, even the French guys on YouTube, they went there and there's nothing there.
Yeah. Also, I just want to say a big shout out to the side chat who are incredibly triggered by us going on about jam so much. But deal with it. It's Jam Wars this week. Also, Enty Lawyer, how are you? What's been going on? What are your thoughts on all of this? But first of all, how are you doing? What's been going on?
I'm doing well. How are you? Good to see so many people. You got quite the crowd. today.
Yeah, I actually had to kick out I literally had to remove Jen. I was like, Jen, I'm so sorry. I need to take you out just for a second. So, but that's okay. That's right.
Do I need to go? Because I
No,
just
no,
Where are you going?
Okay.
No, you just stay there. Everyone's good. Anyway, Enty, how you been? Tell us your thoughts on all this.
I think that I don't know. I don't know if I'm the whole jam thing. From what I understood was, at least when she sent out the baskets, was that to get one of the 50 or whatever, you had to be willing to go say something nice and everything like that, and that she had to go through about 70. So I guess 20 people said no, and so they sent out the 50, and then the people who did the best job, then she went ahead and in her kind of way retweeted them, did something nice for them. I don't know, you know, the supplier for it is just going to be somebody really inexpensive, and she's going to charge like $25 for a little thing of jam.
Well, listen, have you seen any of the Thomas Markle debacle that has been going on this week?
No, I don't think that I have. I've been focused on other things this week.
Yeah, that's no problem.
Oh yeah, we saw about Marissa.
So
Kyle.
effectively, Tom made a skit about his sister, and it has been weaponized in mainstream news, and it's called to deplatform Tom from mainstream media outlets. It's absolutely shocking. Have you met Enty before? Tom, Enty, Tom.
Yeah, a couple of times.
Yeah, a couple of times. Yeah, that's fine. So I think that the main thing to take from this moving forward for Tom is spread as much as we can to increase Tom's voice, and that is got to be at the center of all this. So I'm just going to remind you again to make sure you're sharing this stream just now, you're liking it just now, and make sure you go to Tom's channel.
Here comes the chicken.
Here comes the chicken.
It's got me on there, Mimi.
Yeah.
Enty, what do you think of her renting the mansion or this thing? You know, of all the hoopla she's doing and the polo thing, everything. What do you make of all of that at the mansion right now with this elderly couple, like Molly said?
Well, you know, my idea for the whole polo thing, the polo thing could have been a winner of an idea, but instead, you know, it's a fake match, and then, oh, Harry's going to win. Oh, well, congratulations on that. And then shoving the lady outside of the photo who wanted to be standing next to Harry. I thought that was quite the touch. But yeah, I had an idea. I thought, you know, you could actually make this polo thing a pretty good show if you decided that you wanted to do something like a WAGs kind of show, kind of like a Housewives, WAGs, Southern Charm kind of thing. And it could have been really cool and interesting and probably would have been a big winner for Netflix. However, they could never do that because they have to have it be about them.
Right.
And so that's their problem, is that show that I just described would be a winner. Like, I mean, people would actually watch. They would, just like any other Netflix kind of reality show, people would watch it, and it's Netflix, so you could even go a little bit above and beyond and maybe even make it closer to R-rated. But no, it has to be, oh, look, we're playing polo, and it's this sport of kings, and let's talk to other rich people and how, you know, you should. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, Harry, come up to Scotland where we play no rules street polo, and then you'll know what polo is, my guy. Tom, what's sort of your opinion on the latest Netflix, you know, hopes and dreams of Meghan and Harry? Have you? I mean, obviously you probably had bigger problems this week, but you got anything you want to? Hang on a second. I think I've muted you again. Hang on a second.
First of all, I just don't. You know, at some point, Netflix is just. You know, they have to be like tripping out. Like, what are we even doing? I mean, so you would have to produce something spectacular.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you say that.
So they can squeeze the rest of their money out of that contract, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's funny you say that because we actually read an article this week on the Newsflash about how it's time to cough up Meghan and Harry. You know what I'm saying? It's time to deliver. And, you know, I mean, Netflix is a fairly large company, and I would imagine even Meghan and Harry would have an ordeal dealing with the Netflix legal team. Do you think this is panic from Meghan and Harry, Tom? Do you think that we're seeing them throwing together stuff on a whim, or do you think this has all been part of the plan all along?
Well, I don't know. Everything Meghan touches turns to gold.
Sure. Okay.
You know, I just like.
Yeah,
got to get a winner in there somewhere.
Yeah, law of averages is it's certainly going to be playing to her side.
What happened to Lemonada?
I wanted to ask that.
That's a good question. That is a really good question.
Yes.
What do you think happened to it, Enty?
No, go ahead, Lady Laticia. Go ahead. You brought it up.
No, Tom, what's going on with Lemonada? We've never even heard of Lemonada. They're not even a name brand. I looked them up and still don't know who they are. They started in 2019, which, that tells a story that she's not getting any brands, any major deals anymore, because Netflix and Spotify were major deals. We knew they were.
I think it's an ego thing. Well, look what I can do. Oh, yeah, I got Lemonada now. So there.
I don't know why.
Somebody sent me like an article about Lemonada, and they're like, where are they in Kansas or no? It's somewhere like
Ohio. I think Ohio.
Yeah, they described it's a public place where anybody can go in there and get on a podcast.
Oh,
well, what they're doing is they're redistributing the podcast and putting ads on it.
Yeah.
Oh.
One could have done for free. They just put it on other platforms, so it's free to the masses.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you make of it, Enty? Do you have any news on that, on the Lemonada and stuff like that? And also Meet Me at the Lake. What happened with that?
Okay, well, a couple things here. The Lemonada, when I first talked about it, I didn't go and sign up or anything like that to be kept apprised, but somehow now I get Lemonada emails. So that's scary. But number two, Lemonada, like somebody just said, is just essentially, it's just a distribution. They just sell ads. And, they have like Jeanette McCurdy's on there, Sarah Silverman's on there, Julie Louis-Dreyfus is on there. It's just basically a place like you can go and you can record, you can distribute through Lemonada if you want to. And they just try and sell ads. So it shows that nobody's really buying ads. The other thing about going to the Netflix stuff is this is what I found very Meghan Markle-ish. Okay. So the two news shows and the lifestyle one, the Martha Stewart ripoff, is executive produced by Meghan Markle. Not Harry. The Polo one, of which she knows nothing, she is also an executive producer on.
Brilliant. So, bring on the train wrecks. I'm ready for this, man. I'm going to be reacting to this series. The cooking one, especially. I just I've got so much to say about this.
Entry lawyer. Every time she is involved in something, CEO, executive producer, and so on, it diminishes. It doesn't. It's not a success because she will not allow the people that are successful in those fields to be able to make her successful because she's too busy being in control over everything.
Yeah.
And then when it goes wrong, she wants to blame.
And she also, speaking of, she's going to have to blame somebody. She wants to open an actual storefront in Montecito for her products. And because Gwyneth has a storefront there. So she goes, oh, well, I can do it too. For those of you who've, been to Montecito, it's essentially one street and the rents are very expensive. And I don't see how she will have the traffic to support that. I don't understand having a storefront. I think it's just because she wants to copy Gwyneth Paltrow, and here's the thing is that I'm convinced that Harry will be footing the bill for the rent and everything like that, while she will be taking all of the profits. And I've said this time and time again on here is that Meghan doesn't really have any of her own money. And she can't, and I'll repeat this again, is that Harry's inheritance, she cannot touch if they get divorced. She needs to have some kind of income. And if she can get him to pay for all these setup costs and things like that, and then have it structured in such a way where she gets all the money, it gives her a chance to become independent from Harry or to leave Harry if that ever proves to be necessary. I also heard that when he goes to the UK next month for Invictus, that's when she's going to choose to launch everything and have this big kind of surprise. So that way he is forced to come back after being gone just a day again. So we shall see.
Don't you find it? You know what? It's great that you said that thing about the inheritance money, because you remember you came on and you did that interview, Enty, and you said that you were very specific about that. That's the law. People were still leaving comments. No, Enty's wrong. Meghan can get his money, and remember that you said that. For some reason, people don't want to believe it though.
Inheritance is separate property. Period. End of story in California.
You know, if she's gonna open up a storefront in Montecito, I'd be more than happy to put my wig on and my moon bump and do the for the grand opening. 100% free of charge.
And there's just not a lot of store space. Like, where is she going to put it? You know, if you guys haven't been there, there's like one shopping center where there's like a Vons, a Pavilion to whatever, and there's a Starbucks over there, and that's kind of off to the thing. And then you have the main kind of thing, and there's restaurants, and there's a consignment store, and a tennis shop, and whatever. There's just I don't know where she's going to put it. And as somebody pointing out in the comments, Gwyneth didn't have a storefront day one because she didn't know, right? Gwyneth started with a newsletter. She didn't even try and sell anything at first. And then when she got everybody subscribed to Goop and all this kind of stuff, then she goes, okay, now I can monetize it because now I have a mailing list. And then figuring out what these people were going to want to buy and stuff. And instead with Meghan, we had all of these patents, right? She's going to sell bird seed, for God's sake. I mean, dog food, bird seed, jelly, just whatever she can, which shows that she's okay. Yeah. I can't compete with Gwyneth Paltrow and the vagina smelling candles. So let me go over here and try and compete, I guess, against Martha Stewart. And then I think about Meghan cooking, and I just know it's going to be some kind of Brooklyn Beckham disaster where you have 60 people trying to be behind the scenes to show her how to fry an egg.
And she's not going to allow them to let her fry the egg because she knows how to do it herself.
Listen, we proved she can't even cook toast, Laticia. We tore apart Toastgate last week, and we went deep into the myth that Meghan even knows.
Did I read correctly that Martha Stewart's probably going to sue her?
Oh,
I didn't hear that, but it wouldn't sort of shock me at all. I mean, it just sounds.
I read it. I don't know how true that is.
She's an irritating dimwit.
I just saw an article saying that Martha Stewart is getting pissed off at Meghan Markle constantly connecting her name to her and being compared to her. I just saw it. The Daily Mail just came out with that, and GB News just posted about that too.
Oh.
That Martha Stewart is getting pissed off at the comparisons of her and Meghan Markle. Yeah, I would be too.
I would too.
Yeah. It's a bit wild for the rookie cooking show to be comparing himself to the
that's what she does, right? She thinks that just because she married an emotionally stunted idiot who just happened to be a prince, that all of a sudden she's Mrs. Know-it-all and like can go and do whatever she wants. She thinks that she gets to always start at the very top instead of learning the ropes on how to get to the top.
Well, she messed up her opportunity when she went on the Oprah show talking about the family with races. That ended her brand. I really do believe that when she lied and started unconscious bias and all that, that's when she was just a big liar. But back to the store. What is she gonna put in the store? Right now, she only got jam. But you guys said something about dog. We said dog food and stuff.
Yeah,
because she doesn't have any. She's not coming out with a. How do you launch?
It's lack of
I think just like Gwyneth Paltrow's candles, her scented candles. I think Meghan came out with her ass crack scented candle. So
allegedly.
She didn't want to copy, to the T.
That gave me an idea for a new drinking game for everyone watching. Obviously, it is a Friday evening. Allegedly, one finger of your drink. Meghan has a new business, two fingers. And last but not least, you've got to down it if Meghan's fake children get mentioned.
And what happened to meeting at the lake? Remember that big fanfare that they said that Meghan had bought the rights to the movie, and then Netflix quietly said, no, we did.
Yeah,
and they were going to work with A-listers, directors. What happened to that?
Well, I mean, Netflix is the one, remember, that ponied up the money, not Meghan. So they're the ones who bought the rights. And, Netflix is not doing that great right now. They just had an announcement where they're not going to release subscriber numbers anymore. And the reason they're doing that is because they have fewer, and they don't want to show anybody that they're going down. So, you know, something like Meet Me at the Lake is never going to be a big project. That's the thing. It's, if you were making it into a movie to be released in theaters, it would just be considered kind of like an indie thing. It would get maybe one screen at 1,000 screens across the country. And, you know, so it's never, who's going to want to go do that? And, you know, if you want an A-lister, they're going to want a ton of money. And does Netflix want to dump a whole bunch of money into a movie that people really aren't all that interested in? So
a source told me, a source said allegedly that it was called Meet Me at the Yacht.
Oh, that's a good one. I can't wait for the artwork to come out for that. I'm sure there's going to be some interesting thumbnails around. I just want to say thanks to everybody who is watching right now. Make sure you slap a like on the video. Make sure you share it. We really want to get the main message of this show, which is really making sure that Tom, his voice can be spread as far as we can. So make sure you're sharing and doing all the good stuff. And if you've got any questions for us, put a big capital Q and then your question, and I'll try and get through as many as I can. Yeah. So,
listen, David, sorry to interrupt you there, Ron. I always wanted to. I've never been on a live with Enty, right?
Yep.
And I've always wanted to ask you, what is that front room about?
What is that front room about?
Do you not like the front room?
I mean, it's a lovely front room, but every time I see it, I'm like, why is there an immaculate front room every time?
This is a direct live feed from Enty's front living room.
Would you prefer like clothes strewn all over the couches and everything like that?
I mean, it's very tidy. Is it yours? Don't worry.
No, it's just a screensaver that comes with StreamMate.
Yeah.
StreamYard.
Yeah, my sister used this one for work.
Yeah,
I keep waiting for Megan's Mole to do. Megan's Mole has to, at one point, please, whenever, if you know that I'm going to be on, you have to do this, the photo from 90210. I just keep waiting for you to do that.
Which one? The BJ photo?
Yes.
I didn't want to get this channel taken down. That's why I was.
Exactly. We've got to behave a little bit.
It could it could even be with her just as she's popped up because she's surprised, and if you know, kind of thing, right? So
I'll figure out something for you next time, Enty.
That is too good.
I'm surprised you haven't done that one, Molly.
Well, I like this moon bump one, right?
Yeah,
I did have. Do you remember? I did have the one with the eggplant in her mouth.
Yes, you did.
Remember this one?
That's right. Yes, that was a good one, and I think that's what made me want. That's what made me think to ask you sometime to do the 90210.
I will definitely come up with that next.
Yeah.
90210 blow.
Yeah, make sure you get your questions in. I was hoping Jen was going to go on about how much she loved your interior decorating and really put herself
and indulge in it. Yeah.
Really cool. You could have kept that. Could have been a great little clip there. But let's just circle back to where we began this, right? Obviously, Tom, you've been dragged through the media this week. Your ability to express yourself and have your freedom of speech has been questioned. The future of your voice and your channel has been questioned. What do you want from everybody that's watching right now? What can people do to stand with you?
I want people to know that if Meghan Markle has the right to go out and make money, still using royal titles, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, and merching off the royal family and spending Harry's money like it's hers. I mean, and she's coming after my little channel for my freedom of speech. That, I mean, YouTube, you have to work your ass off if you're going to make any kind of good money at YouTube. And that's just how it is.
Yeah.
But for her to attack me physically when I'm sitting here taking care of her father also, I've exhausted so many resources being down here for 2 years. And I have a right to do whatever I want to and speak my mind and voice my opinion and do my comedy and parody.
And just to reiterate to everyone, this is a comedy parody where you're making reference to a likeness of someone. You're making reference to a likeness of a name of someone. There was no direct, I am Meghan Markle or anything like this. Oh. And it was framed as a comedy skit. Whether, again, you agree with it, you should support its right to happen. And I think a lot of people on the internet in 2024 think not being offended by something is a human right, and it's not. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the way of the world. So
it's no secret that her skin is extremely thin.
Yeah.
I mean, she'll go after she hired the Sussex Squad. God knows how many they are, you know, but that's what they do. She pays them for this. She pays them to attack people.
I'm going to circle back to the question. Thank you. Somebody just reminded me about this. I had it up on screen and then we never got to it. Maybe her polo dress was an ad for the toilet paper she's going to sell on Arrow. I mean, to be honest, I think she should really just get herself an iron. If we can really just talk for a second about this woman's ability to go to public functions looking like she's just woken up on a couch, right? Do you know, how can you make Dior look terrible and all these huge brands look terrible?
I mean, some of them look like 2-week-old bed sheets from like a spring break at a Motel 6.
There's a question for you here, Tom. For Tom, does your dad know how many people in the community, including here in Australia, support him and your family? We are with you in spirit and on your side. You know, how does your dad really feel the love? Does he look for it? Has he been completely soured by the whole concept of the internet and people?
Well, that's one thing that my dad really loves about my channel is the comments. Thousands and thousands of comments supporting, and you know, we got your back, Tom Markle, the Markle family.
Yeah.
Really, guys, you guys are awesome. You're so nice. I wish I had a dad like you. I wish I had a brother like you. And that's one good positive thing that came from the YouTube channel is the spin from being degenerate, low life trailer trash, right? That we were called in the media, to now people get it because their eyes are open and they see what the world has to deal with. I mean, I'm starting to think, like, with all the bad things going on in the world right now, I mean, is she the Antichrist?
It is so.
They have risen. She has risen. Tom.
What the hell's going on?
How is your dad doing financially, Tom?
He's okay.
He's doing okay. Are you guys gonna do like a GoFundMe or something? Because I would love to give. You know, I know that his daughter has forgotten him for some strange reason. Yeah. But you know, I know before you were telling us about his medical bills.
Yeah, I started a GoFundMe for that, like, I don't know, 6-8 months ago or something like that. And that was because, I mean, he's got full coverage now on anything that happens, but he was missing a part of his Medicare. I think one of the parts that he was missing that didn't cover, you know, like $30,000 worth. But, you know, here again, you know, Miss Meghan Markle has everything in the world to thank to my father. Right, because without my father, she would be working at Sizzler Salad Bar with 2 nickels right now.
Can we make it our point to make sure Tom's YouTube channel has always got more followers than the Arrow Instagram page? Can we just make that a thing where every week we try and push it up, because she bought her subscribers, Tom. I mean, let's be honest. I mean,
I know, yeah, and that's she may be very jealous because I didn't have to pay for my subscribers. No, they joined now. All of them. Yeah. And you know, I see those offers where you can go on there and spend what, $200 or $500 for 10,000 followers. Yeah. So
well, what do you expect? She's got fake family, fake friends, fake kids, fake followers. Everything about her is
celebrities. Everybody's fake.
Yeah.
Enty, what have you got anything you want to put in about how Meghan goes about social media and the whole way that she's went about this, the Netflix series and things like this? Is this something that's common with, you know, celebrities and things like this who are trying to land deals, or is this just a Hail Mary that is unique to the Markle world, the megasphere? Sorry.
Well, one of the things that you need to pay attention to is if you do have a lot of fake followers, bot followers, and things like that, and anybody who's got an Instagram on here has probably been approached by somebody in their DMs on Instagram to buy followers. So it's definitely not unusual. What she's trying to do, and let's go back to the Gwyneth Paltrow thing just for a quick second, is that, like I said, she started with the newsletter. She got a bunch of subscribers. She got people who actually were willing to give her their email, and then she went on from there. Let's go over to Kylie Jenner. So Kylie Jenner, before she did her ColourPop ripoff, which was just ColourPop marked up 500%, she had people that she knew would follow, would commit right? Yes, she probably had a ton of fake followers, but she had millions that were not. And she already knew that these people, through other tests, would actually buy things that she suggested. And that's what Meghan is lacking. She thinks that just because somebody, let's say, follows her on Instagram, it doesn't mean that they're actually going to click and make some kind of purchase. So she's not really thinking about her brand. She's just like, okay, what can I do? And let's sell this wide variety of products and things like that. But I have not seen anything where, other than, let's say, People magazine will say, oh, this outfit of hers sold out. Well, yeah, it's sold out because there's only 100 or 200, but you can't make thousands upon thousands upon thousands. And that's what she's going to have to do, because if she wants to try and do something like drop shipping, which is what most influencers do when they start off. So basically, give you an example, like Emily Ratajkowski, who's an influencer or whatever, she started selling swimsuits, but she didn't know how many she was going to be able to sell. So people put in orders on Black Friday in November, and they still haven't got them yet because of the fact that she had to wait till they purchased them before the company would start making them. And so Meghan can't afford to do that because she can't afford to have any bad publicity. So she's not going to be able to drop ship, which means that she's going to have to buy a ton of product. And who's going to pay for that product up front? And then who's going to click to buy it?
Entry lawyer. Quick. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm new and I know I'm talking the most. I do apologize. But really quick, how is she going to be successful if she doesn't have this big fan base? Because the Sussex Squad, if she only has 500,000 people right now that is following her on her brand, her Riviera brand, how is that going to be successful? How is she going to make enough jam to make millions of dollars like Netflix was giving her?
Well, she's not going to be able to, and followers doesn't translate into sales. One of my friends, Holly Madison, she's got millions upon millions of Instagram followers, but it doesn't necessarily, whenever she tries to do something or whatever, it doesn't necessarily translate into clicks. So she had to go about the marketing a little bit differently and find some niche and get, the marketing done correctly. People think just, oh, I've got 2 or 3 million followers, they'll buy, whatever. No, they're just following you because it's easy to hit the follow button on Instagram or something, and they just scroll past and maybe occasionally hit a like. It doesn't mean that they're committing to buy $25 jelly.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And Enty, I don't. Did you know, for example, anything about the visa, like the visa gate, or the thing that's happening with the visa, with Harry's visa? Have you heard anything about that?
I mean, the judge has the stuff, right? The judge is reviewing it, and the judge will decide, whether or not to make it public. My indication, just by what the judge's actions are, and I don't have any inside information, but just by the judge's actions, I think that there's going to be a lot of it released.
You think they're going to release it?
I think they're going to release a lot of it, because there's nothing that, if the government could go and try and figure out a way to stop it, they would have already done that. So the judge has it. The judge is going to redact a bunch of it. You're not going to have Harry's home address or anything like that. But there'll be some stuff that's redacted, but the stuff, and that's why I think the judge is taking their time. Like, okay, well, what can I show? What can be released and stuff like that? I think that the judge, from their rulings, apparently seems to think that, the American public has a right to know, has this because he's a public figure and everything. And I think that the judge is going to rule. I don't know how much of the documents were going to get released. It could be 80% redacted, but I think that there is going to be some that the judge says is in the public interest to reveal.
Markle, you might have Harry coming to Mexico and deported. You might get to meet him after all.
Enty. So there are a lot of rumors swirling about him obviously being a prince and having a special visa. Do you know anything about that?
Well, here's the thing, and I've said this a million times and I'll keep saying it, is that he'll never get deported. Just because you're allowing him to, let's say there's released and he's lied on there about drug use or whatever, he's not going to get deported. He's just not. And everybody has to get that, it doesn't matter if Trump wins or Biden wins, he's never going to be deported. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, either way, that's damaging all the same, isn't it, to him when the people look on and see him not being deported, because then you see the entitlement on the full stage, the privilege that he's getting, in the differences in how he's being treated. So either way, even him not being deported, it's going to be damaging.
That's the thing, right? If it shows that he did lie about illegal drug use and he's not deported, that's just going to turn more and more people against him, because they are going to see that everybody, gets treated differently if you were the elite, right? But it's not going to happen because, the US and England have that special relationship, and they're not going to deport a prince who, if there was some horrible, God forbid, tragedy, is however many removed he is from the throne of England, right?
Yeah, I can't imagine I couldn't imagine it either entry lawyer that they would kick him out of the United States. Not even Trump. I don't see it. I don't see it either. So I agree with you. You're not going to kick a prince, King Charles's son, out of the country.
Yeah.
It's not going to do it.
Yeah, it's a good card to be able to play. Well, King's my dad. What I'm saying?
They're definitely not going to deport him because, we need humor, and they constantly give it to us. So there's no way he'll be deported.
But in essence, then, are we not just watching a bit of a theatre to swell the frustration of the people in this court case? Is that like to say we're doing something? Is that not just to keep people at bay? Are we not just watching a theatre and a projection of we're doing something, but we're not going to do anything?
Right. I agree with you.
Here's an interesting one.
It's called privilege.
We can't say specifically what I'm talking about. But if we all just sort of go and look on the news and look at what's going on in some places in the world, there's been some quite terrifying things. And it's amazing that we're all sat here talking about jams, right? Because when we talk about actions in the world, it's very easy to see how the media is used to blanket other things that are happening. And that's all I'm going to say, because that's all I can say, because we're on YouTube. We can't say things that we can't talk about the real news and stuff. So that's the way it goes.
And going back to what Thomas had said before, like with his YouTube and, keeping his YouTube channel alive, is that YouTube is going to be, they're always pretty quick to pull the trigger unless it's somebody that's got millions upon millions of views. They want to keep monetizing. But especially if TikTok does get banned in the next month, then you're going to have all these social media people just driving over to YouTube. And so then it's going to just start to dilute everything that's going on YouTube. So it's really important right now, before that happens, that if that everybody wants to help, Thomas and get more subscribers now, because there's going to be a fight for those subscribers if TikTok is deleted.
Yeah, 100%. We've seen it with the Vine migration, if anyone remembers that madness that took place many years ago.
There's a question for Enty here as well. If the grifters come clean about it all on Netflix documentary, can they repair their reputations? Thanks.
No. I don't think so. I think that there's a ways to make amends. If Harry at any one of these times, like Invictus, this would be a good one, right? It's the 10-year anniversary. It's gonna be a church service or whatever. So let's say he decides to, hey, I want to go see my sister-in-law. I want to hang out with William, and that kind of thing. I think that kind of thing would go a long way. However, Meghan's not going to be a part of that. So I think that Harry has the opportunity for redemption. I don't know how Meghan gets that redemption.
I don't think she's even trying to get any redemption. Like, she came about and said, oh, I'm going to get a PR team from Great Britain to help with my popularity.
This is the thing. Have we actually got any evidence that she's admitted that she's done anything wrong to
no
feel bad about? This is the thing. It's the megasphere. Michelle, are you okay? You've not said anything in a while. I just want to make sure you're all right down there.
Oh, no, I'm just listening to everybody, but I thought I saw something online, which I think Paula and Molly are going to laugh at. One of the stories is that people are saying that that Nacho was cringy and forced to taste the jam from Meghan Markle. So I feel like they listened to our videos and then they literally put out a story.
Did he get a bottle? Did he get a bottle of jam?
It says Meghan Markle's new jam promotion by Prince Harry's palace slammed as cringe and forced.
You are giving the media stories, man.
I really do believe they watch our channel, and like the next day you'll see a story, and we're like, didn't we just talk about that?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, Michelle. So when you have and because I don't talk enough about the kids because it's just not my thing. But I just wonder, especially like Nacho's kid was there, right? And Meghan acted like, just, oh my gosh, I'm so desperate to have the hug of a child.
Yeah.
But and they must have known that the kid was going to be there, but still they never bring the kids.
Yeah.
Right. What I find hilarious is apparently she's teaming up with someone else to do that Love Like a Mother. Right. And it's like,
Yes.
we never see you with your kids, but now you're doing a campaign, Love Like a Mother. And I'm like, isn't that Ragu's tagline, Cook Like a Mother?
Yeah, and the Love Like a Mother was one of the 50 that got the jam. That's what I was talking about at the beginning, where that was her version of retweeting her. Where, okay, you supported me, so now I'm gonna love you like a mother and wear the shirt and do that. And so just think about how desperate she was to get the 50, where she has to do something like that to get one of the 50.
Well, Michelle, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's just weird how she promotes herself as a mom and in her kitchen, yet she's not filming in her house and doesn't bring her kids.
Exactly.
Michelle, didn't she say that she was going to bring the kids to the next Invictus Games?
That's what I thought. And it's weird because there was a picture, and I'm sorry, guys, I don't know what's going on with my sound. I'm sorry about this. But if you look at old pictures of the royal family, you see Diana with Harry and William when they were young watching King Charles play polo, yet they don't do that for Harry's kids. It's so sad.
Yeah. Andy, are you okay up there, Andy? You've not said anything about
what's happening?
Yeah, nothing, man. It's a side chat that has to remind me because everyone's so small when somebody's big now because there's so many people here. And
They probably keep the kids from the polo game because they don't want to see Harry dig the spurs in and cause scars on the horses and draw blood, maybe.
Yeah, well.
But I think we were saying on a Royal Mess news flash the other day, though, we get these pictures of Meghan hugging children that are not her own, which come across as weird because we don't see her interact with her own children. We don't know her normal form and how she will respond and how she will react. And yet we've got a stranger's child who has not got a natural connection with her. So when we see these shots, we see this, it doesn't sit right because we've not got a baseline of what Meghan is and what kind of mom she is because we don't see her with her own children. We see her hanging on to other people's children. And this is why people can't relate to her in any shape or form because what we see is a projection of what she wants people to see. We never see the real level of what Meghan Markle is with her kids. We just see, this awkward projection.
Well, that's easy because she doesn't have anything. She's not an actual being because everything that she does is copied. She has copied one thing from someone, she copies another thing from someone else. So when you think about it, that's the problem that I have with her. She wants to be this worldwide power player, right? Well, worldwide power players don't copy people. They have their own thing. So when you think about someone that wants to try and, I guess you would say she probably thinks she's a legend in her own mind. When you think about someone that is that delusional and you have actually no talent, you're talking about a problem that's beyond because you can't fix it. You can't fix the fact that you have no original ideas of your own. But Enty Lawyer, I want to finish with this question. I don't know if you remember in January when we had a live and I asked you, don't you think that Meghan could do a cooking show or a daytime TV show? And you said that she couldn't do a daytime TV show because nobody likes her, right? But a cooking show is perfect, right? Because she's so fake. Everything is set up. I don't know if you remember I asked you that.
Yeah, I don't remember, but it's still true today. A TV show, and there's openings for TV shows right now, right? Because there's some daytime people leaving. The Talk is leaving, so there is actually space for a talk show. But can you imagine all the stories that would get out about how she's treating people poorly behind the set and being a diva and stuff like that? It would just be nonstop. But she's not popular. Nobody would watch it.
Do you think she's actually going to cook?
No.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not going to be like Emerald, and it's not going to be like, these live shows. It's going to be very, very set up.
Yeah, compare it to look at Brooklyn Beckham. That's what I would compare it to. She's not going to be actually cooking. And if she does cook, it's totally set up where all she has to do is put something in somewhere. And don't forget, you can always yell cut and bring another one out. and do it again. So Martha doesn't actually really, she's just more of a brand, and her cooking is a little bit different, and she likes to watch people and things like that. But Meghan's not going to be doing like an Emerald. She's not going to be doing, if you watch a TikTok video with like Gordon Ramsay or these other people where let me just take you through it step by step, here's the steak and this is why, and all of this kind of stuff. She's not going to do something like that. She can't. She doesn't know how.
It's going to be more Ina Garten, but for a call girl.
But Ina Garten can cook.
Yeah. But that's the thing. She's not a chef. She's just an actress that married a prince. And in the videos we see last week, her making some toast. And I've been tagged in one before I come on where she's grilling some lettuce. And I see her do one where she made some ramen with a chef. But it was just literally placing it together.
Yeah.
She's not creating or making stuff from scratch. It's just a pretty placing foods together, even toast.
Yeah.
When you come home at you go on a night out and you come home a bit wasted and you go to the kitchen and you throw a load of shit in the pan, cook it up, and it tastes like the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Right, listen, we're approaching the 2-hour mark. I just want to throw the stage back to Tom. And is there anything you want to say? Again, I will reiterate, make sure you help us spread Tom's voice. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. You share it everywhere. If we can just give him a fair fight against the mainstream global media, we'll all be doing our little bit. So is there anything you want to say to the people before we're out of time, Tom?
No, I just want to say thanks for the incredible support from everybody, the YouTube community, all you guys. Your channels, and it's important that we keep this together, because everybody has the right to speak their mind and has freedom of speech, and it can't be controlled by one person who has thin skin and doesn't like this or doesn't like that. So it's just really important that we all stick together, support each other, and keep on fighting.
Yeah, 100%.
Tina, we need to get one of your hashtags trending again on Sunday. That hashtag.
Oh, what should we go for? Yes.
And again, I just want to thank.
We get it going on X and everywhere.
I just want to thank everybody that's been on the panel tonight. It's been a massive, massive show tonight. If Meghan, if you're watching, I will take $5 million and shut the podcast down. Okay, DM me to do. Yeah, so would I. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm kidding. You cannot buy me. Okay, $5 million. DM me.
I think you'd accept it. To be honest,
DM me. Right.
But could we all just do like one more thing here real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Everything going on in the world right now, which is really scary. I mean, with Iran, oh my God,
we can't say those words. We can't say those words. We can't. You can reference it. We just can't say those words.
Okay, but anyway, everybody just I want to put out positive vibes and get well wishes to Princess Catherine. She's the most amazing person, who just did not deserve the treatment and the abuse that she got from Meghan and the Sussex Squad. And but the vile things that were said about her is just the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. And how you can get away with that, I don't know, but it was just horrible. But anyway, get well soon, Catherine. And that's about it.
And thanks, Tom, for coming on and sharing your, experience.
Yeah, thank you.
We appreciate you.
Yes, Tom, thank you.
Yeah, I'll try to make myself a little more available.
We'd love that.
I'm going to continue doing my lives and doing little skits here. I'm going to start my own Me Game cooking show and go.
Yes. Like, honestly, man, like there's so much that you could do to hop on the algorithm for banter.
Honestly,
I think it's got to be amazing.
I look at a picture and it's just instantly in my head. And it just
do you know what? Double down on it. Go and get the wig and a barbecue and film the first 3 episodes of the cooking show, my guy. I'm telling you. But listen, Tom, like you said,
Baby Ziggy's come to say goodnight.
Oh, here we go.
He's got his middle finger up.
Is he saying hello to Meghan? Is he saying hello to Meghan?
Yeah, Ziggy's got a special message from Meghan.
Swearing.
You naughty boy.
He's all hi, Megan.
Who taught
Hi,
you that?
Oh man!
Thank you, Enty and Tom, for tonight.
That's a natural. That's a natural
This is for you.
response. Natural response from a child when
Yes.
they see Megan.
There you go. There's some scientific response from a child. Too good. Yeah, I just want to say thank you to everybody and welcome to Lady Laticia, your first show. All the regulars.
Well, that's an excellent ending, isn't it?
Tina.
I have a quick question
Andy.
before we go.
Oh yes, of course.
Enty, where would be the best place to contact you? Like email or I gotta ask.
Just email me. Just email me.
Email you? Okay. Thank you.
I'll sort you out with that if Annie's all good with that. I can send you that over.
It was so nice chatting with each and every one of you. I really consider you guys just YouTube stars, and it was such a pleasure. And I'm so grateful for Paula for inviting me, and I hope I get to come again.
Yeah,
it was
you're
lovely
very welcome.
meeting you, Lady Laticia.
Thank you.
Lovely to meet you.
And I really love your hat, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I got this from Scotland. One of my subscribers got that for me.
Lovely.
And I just want to say, well done to everybody on the panel tonight. It was 10 or 11 of us at one point. I think everyone done really, really well. So I just want to say thank you to you guys for being awesome. Thank you to the mods. Thank you to wow. Thank you to everyone who's watching. A big shout out to Ziggy, the legend.
I've had to mute the mic. He's chatting away.
Any further words, Ziggy, before we go? Anything you want to say, Ziggy?
Thank you for the side chat as well.
Yeah, the side chat is
amazing. We appreciate
you. You are so adorable. Oh my God.
Ziggy, you have just come on and stole the show.
Yeah, exactly. Right,
bedtime.
Right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
God bless.
We'll be back, of course, on
Bye.
Monday with
Bye.
our Royal News Flash. And, of course, we'll be back next week, and I will see you all there.